What up, everybody? It's your boy, Rob Suave, 1/3 of the Hour Report. Back at it again with Rob's Top 5. I know I've been gone for a couple weeks. You gotta forgive me for that. Life had happened, you feel me? We got busy, but it's playoff time, and I'm back. I'm giving you all the top 5 goods every week. With that being said, I'm gonna start it off with Josh Gordon. Hold the applause. This man has got to be arguably the biggest disappointment in the league. Like, all that talent, and he just can't shake his addiction. Man led the league in receiving in 2013. He had that monstrous year. We know he didn't even start every game. He only played 14 games and still led the league in receiving and established himself as a dominant player. This is his sixth suspension, however, fifth related to PEDs or marijuana, whatever illegal substances that's banned in the league. This is fifth of that. That's a problem. He's only been in the league for 6 years. This is like he's averaging a suspension a year. Like, I don't know. I don't know what to say. I know like a lot of there's like a mental battle, and that stuff really does have a tug on you, but it's just like, it just makes you wonder what could have been. This guy has Julio Jones, Calvin Johnson type God's gift of like being able to catch and run, size, speed combination, and football smarts, but he just can't seem to get right and shake his habit. Another point I want to present is this is like not too long after New England released him. So you got to wonder if they knew, if they had some type of inkling or something, or if they seen it coming, because you don't just dump a guy like that, a talent like that, especially given that New England's needy receiving core. But Seattle picked him up, and he was slowly but surely working his way into the offense. And at this point, one kind of has to wonder, he's suspended indefinitely. This would be his 7th chance if he got back into the league. Does the NFL ban him for good eventually? If he does decide to go for an appeal, do they give it to him? If it was me, I'm sorry. They gave this man chance after chance. I know the NFL provides a lot of resources and they're very supportive when it comes to things like this. And he just continues to just smack it out of the league's hand, spit in their face, in my opinion. It's just plain disrespect at this point. You get chance after chance, and there's millions of guys who work all their life who would kill for this opportunity if you just get him the opportunity and he just squanders it away. I'm not judging. I'm not a judgmental person. I'm not trying to judge, but I don't get it. But I know if I had his skill set, I would definitely try to make as much money as I can and dominate and tear the league up like I know I can and realize my true potential. I know addiction is a hard battle. I've never personally fought it, but I guess if it'll make a man walk away from 60, 70, potentially $80 million and a bright future after football, then it's got to be some type of strong. But that was number 5. Number 4, Pro Bowl snubs. Start off with John Brown, a wide receiver from the Buffalo Bills. Now, the Pro Bowl rosters just came out as well as alternates. He wasn't even an alternate. This guy has 71 catches so far, 1,007 receiving yards, and 5 touchdowns in his first season with the Buffalo Bills. Last year, his first few games with the Ravens, he did a good job. He was keeping pace with the receiving yards, catches, and touchdowns. Joe Flacco loved him. Him and Lamar didn't necessarily click, so he opted not to resign and got a pretty good deal with Buffalo. And this guy has been lighting it up. He's not a big receiver. He's physical, he's scrappy, but he's not going, run 2 guys over, jump over 2 guys like Julio and snatch the ball out of his hands. He's a worker. He's a grinder. He fights for everything. He's undersized, and you definitely know he plays with a chip on his shoulder, and he definitely terrorized the league this year. My choice to swap him out with is Tyreek Hill. For one, Tyreek Hill didn't play every game. His current numbers are 49 catches, 727 yards, and 7 TDs. He might get 1,000 yards. He may not. I don't know. But John Brown has been consistent over these 14 games, and he's doing it with Josh Allen. Josh Allen is an average quarterback right now. I think he's well on his way to being a good quarterback, but he has Josh Allen, and Tyreek Hill has Patrick Mahomes, who is top five definitely. And not only that, he has Travis Kelce, Sammy Watkins, Mecole Hardman, and all those running backs coming out the backfield. So defenses really have to game plan. They have to pick their poison in game plan. John Brown is the Buffalo Bills passing attack. It's not even close. You have to double him every game when you play them. Yeah, you got Devin Singletary and Frank Gore coming out the backfield, but John Brown is their top passing threat by far. It's not even close. Next on my list, Orlando Brown Jr., right tackle for the Baltimore Ravens. This guy, I loved him coming out of college. If nobody knows, I'm personally a Ravens fan, so I watch every game. And the development, I seen some raw play the beginning of his rookie year last year, but he ended up cleaning it up towards the end of the season and into the playoffs. And I saw a lot of potential in him. And I mean, look who his dad is. He's living up to that name. And this year, he's really been a wall on that right side for Lamar Jackson in the running game. Only allowed 3 sacks all year and only 3 penalties. And let me read you the front. He's not facing bottom tier pass rushers and front sevens. This guy has duked it out with the Arizona Cardinals, Chandler Jones, Terrell Suggs coming off the edges, Kansas City, Frank Clark, Chris Jones, Emmanuel Ogbah when he was on the plane, Alex Okafor when he was playing, the Cleveland Browns, Larry Ogunjobi, Olivier Vernon, Sheldon Richardson, Myles Garrett, and he still has to play them again. Pittsburgh Steelers, T.J. Watt, Bud Dupree, Cam Hayward, the New England Patriots, Chase Winovich, Danny Shelton, the L.A. Rams, Big Aaron Donald. He was a non-factor against the Ravens. They blew them out, ran all over them on the road. Dante Fowler was on that team. Samson Ebukam, Michael Brockers, the San Francisco 49ers, Nick Bosa, Eric Armstead, DeForest Buckner, Solomon Thomas, D Ford. These are all top 5 guys at their positions respectively. The Buffalo Bills, Trent Murphy, Ed Oliver, Jerry Hughes, who he got into it with most of the game. And he held his own against all of these guys and has put together, in my opinion, an all-pro season, all-pro Pro Bowl season. And he definitely got snubbed. If I were to swap him out with somebody, it would be Laramie Tunsil. I think it's close between these two, but Laramie has allowed the same amount of sacks but has more penalties. And I've seen more errors from Tunsil than Orlando. And plus, the Ravens have the number 1 rushing attack in the league. So that alone, and he's been a 16-game starter. And Laramie Tunsil got traded from Miami. So that alone right there gives him the nod over Tunsil, in my opinion. Next, I'm going to go Byron Jones, the Dallas Cowboys starting cornerback. 44 tackles, 5 pass deflections, 1 forced fumble. He has 52 targets, allowed 30 catches. This guy is a big athletic freak. He shadows the number 1 receiver. He's a key piece of their defense, also an independent free agent. And if I was Dallas, I would pay the man. And he definitely got snubbed in the Pro Bowl cornerback group. I was teetering, do I want to do Jalen Ramsey or Darius Slay? But I ended up going with Darius Slay because Jalen Ramsey has cleaned up his play a lot because he got traded from Jacksonville, wasn't doing that good there. He started off rough in L.A., and I think Byron Jones has been a more consistent player ultimately, but I chose Darius Slay, starting cornerback from the Detroit Lions. I think he's a good corner, but I don't think he's having a Pro Bowl year yet, let alone a better year than this guy is. And the Lions defense has just been atrocious. I mean, the Cowboys defense has had their moments too, but they're ultimately better, and I think Byron Jones has been a better corner this year. Darius Slay currently has 67 targets, 38 catches allowed, 38 tackles, 10 pass deflections, and 2 picks. Now, yeah, he has more picks and more pass deflections, but he's getting targeted more. He's seeing more action. And based off the schedule, I will say Slay has probably had to face better receiving corps, but, I mean, you can only play who's on your schedule. And I think given with what I think, Jones is having a better season. Also, I would take Quandre Diggs over Xavier Woods and Jeff Heath as well when it comes to safeties. I think Darius Slay has better support behind him than Byron Jones does. And then my last one, which I know a lot of people will probably really agree with this one, Eric Armstead. How did this guy not make it? For one, San Francisco's D-line this season has been vicious, like really vicious. Like they have been absolute terrorizing running games and quarterbacks, and it's been headed by him. This guy has 49 tackles. This is from the interior position, 10 sacks, 1 pass deflection, 2 forced fumbles, and 11 tackles for a loss. And this is all in 14 games. He has been an absolute game wrecker on the interior, and he didn't even get an alternate spot, which I think is absurd. I would swap him out with Fletcher Cox from the Eagles. He's normally a good D lineman. You can move him all over the field, all over the formation, but the Eagles defense has just been atrocious this season, and he hasn't been playing up to form. He has 37 tackles, 3.5 sacks, 2 pass deflections, 2 forced fumbles, and 5 tackles for a loss. The numbers for Armstead blow Cox's out of the water. And I think we all would agree that we would take the 49ers defense over the Eagles defense, or let alone the 49ers D-line over the Eagles D-line. But I would definitely swap out Fletcher Cox for Eric Armstead. Eric Armstead is more than deserving. He deserves to be there with one of his tag team partners in Nick Bosa. And that's number 4, my Pro Bowl snubs. Number 3, the current playoff picture. As it stands right now in the AFC, Baltimore is number 1. The Patriots is number 2. Kansas City is the number 3 seed. They would end up playing the number 6 seed, Pittsburgh, in Wild Card Weekend. This is if the season ended today. Number 4 is the Houston Texans. They would end up playing Buffalo in Wild Card Weekend. I think that would actually be a great game. I would love to see that. And then Tennessee sits at 8-6. They're in the hunt, along with Cleveland at 6-8, and Oakland at 6-8. The AFC playoff race is very interesting and intriguing. I think Baltimore ultimately runs away with the number 1 seed. It wouldn't surprise me if Kansas City or Houston leapfrog New England for the number 2 and the number 3 seed, depending on how it played out. But it's definitely some interesting games coming up in these last 2 weeks of the season are crucial for every team. Baltimore plays the Cleveland Browns on the road this week. They can clinch home field in the number 1 seed with a win. Now, it should be noted Cleveland beat Baltimore in Baltimore 40-25, but we all can agree they're both different teams now. But it's a division game, so you never know. If I was the Ravens, I would still take it serious so you can have everything locked up by week 17 and you can sit your starters and get them some rest. New England, I don't know what's going on with them. They got to get it together with their receiving core. Tom Brady needs somebody to throw to besides Julian Edelman and James White, because come playoff time, a lot of the stuff that they're doing, I don't think is going to work. Bill Belichick is a genius, but I mean, this team's offense is just talent deficient, and their line has definitely fell off. Tom Brady's getting older, then his is getting harder, and it's getting colder, so they're going to be even really harder. Kansas City, we know what we get with them. We know what we get with Houston. I think Buffalo is a sneaky good team, a dark horse team that everybody should watch out for, and I think they're starting to get hot. I know they recently took an L, but they bounced back. But I would watch out for them during the playoff time because this is a team that could make a run, and it wouldn't surprise me. They have all the makings of that team. If they just get into the dance, they'll take it and they'll run with it. I would also watch out for Tennessee. They're another team. Ryan Tannehill has been balling. His defense has been balling. Derrick Henry is a truck coming out of the backfield. And this team is another team that can get hot and sneak into there and really make a run. Cleveland and Oakland, much to do about nothing, honestly. I don't think that they'll get in. And even if they did get in, I don't think neither team has the makeup to last long. I don't think either team can withstand a full playoff run. Only thing I like about Cleveland is their running game, and the only thing I like about Oakland is their defense, and specifically their pass rush. But they're in the hunt, and this is my playoff picture segment, so I'm going to throw them in there. The NFC, the Seahawks sit at number 1. The Green Bay Packers sit at number 2. New Orleans is number 3. They would end up playing the 6th seed Minnesota. Boy, would that be a juicy rematch. in a wild card weekend, and Dallas Cowboys play San Francisco in a wild card weekend, which I think will be another good game. And it's just crazy how the 49ers have been consistently good all season, and after this shocking loss to the Falcons, they're all of a sudden the 5th seed and would have to go on the road for most of the playoffs. This is another one that's wide open. The LA Rams are 8-6, and the Philadelphia Eagles are 7-7 in the hunt category. But this is another playoff seeding that's wide open. Nothing's been clinched by anybody yet. It's been a lot of leapfrogging recently. I wouldn't sleep on the Eagles and taking the NFC East and bumping Dallas out of the playoffs completely. The Rams, I don't know. I think their season is derailed. I don't think they're coming back. It would take a lot of luck for them to get into the playoffs. I would really be shocked. I would expect Philly over them, honestly. I'm picking Philly to make it over them. I think New Orleans, Minnesota, and San Francisco are just too good. And it's going to be interesting to see when the Vikings and the Packers play on Monday night. That's going to have real playoff implications and seeding implications in the NFC. So make sure you tune into that. I can't wait to watch it. That's my NFC playoff seeding, and that's my segment for that 3. Number 2, Drew Brees versus Tom Brady for this passing touchdown leading. Brees currently has 540. Brady is third. Brees has the record with 540. Brady is third with 538. Peyton Manning is in the middle of them both, 539, but he's obviously retired. I don't see this really being neck and neck. I think Brees will ultimately pass him and stay past him because Brady doesn't have any legit receivers, and Brees has Michael Thomas and Jared Cook, Alvin Kamara. He has way more at his disposal, a way more wide open, better offense to suit his skill set and to produce more passing TDs than Brady does. Brady's declining, you can see it, and I just think Brees took it, and he's going to not give it back. Brees has a chance to let Brady catch him because if the Saints ultimately lock everything up, I believe next week or the week after, I think it's next week, then he'll probably sit the last game. And if Brady needs to keep playing for their seeding purposes, then he may can catch him. But I think Brees is ultimately going to keep it and not give it up. I think Brady is done. I think those years of him throwing more than 35, 40 touchdowns are over. I think Brees still probably has at least one more good season in him with 35 or more touchdowns. He's definitely surrounded with more talent as far as running backs, receivers, and even offensive line goes. The Patriots' remaining 2 games are against the Bills, who have the number 3 passing defense, and the Dolphins, the number 24 passing defense. Both of these games are at home, so Brady has that advantage going for him. I think Buffalo is going to give him a run for his money, and that's going to be a real test, and that might be what holds him because Brees plays at the Titans, who have the number 25 pass defense, and at Carolina, who has the number 16 pass defense. But I wouldn't sleep on Carolina. That's a division game, like I said earlier. You never know what could happen. They've given him problems before, even when the Saints look good. But hopefully the Saints can take care of business and Brees can be sitting that game and he can just sit back and watch Brady. Hopefully Brady won't catch him. Like I said, I doubt he will, but it's a possibility. Congratulations to Drew Brees on that passing title. 540 touchdowns. I know it's very, very hard to do in the league. It's almost impossible if you don't play as long as he has and has the consistent receiving core that he's had over his career. I think if he had better defenses over his career, he would have at least 2 more rings. But that's just me personally. And then my last segment, I want to throw a special shout out. Rest in peace to Coach Herman Boone. I know we all seen when we remember the Titans. It came out in 2000. Denzel Washington played him, did a phenomenal job. It was about the undefeated T.C. Williams team who won the state championship in 1971, dealt with a lot of adversity within the team and without the team, and they managed to stick together thanks to a lot of him and the principles he's instilled in them and the things that he had the team do to build that camaraderie and love for each other and being able to look out for each other. He earned 2 degrees from North Carolina Central University and was inducted into the school's Hall of Fame in 2004. And last March, they named that basketball media room after him in his honor. So just a special rest in peace to him. Prayers and condolences to his family. He died at age 84, battling cancer, which is very unfortunate. Cancer sucks. And we all seen Remember the Titans thousands of times. I know I have. It never gets old. It's always a great movie. And it's a lot to learn from that, just not even in just football, but just life in general. And his character definitely shows you a lot of life skills and things you can take with you. And I can only imagine meeting him in real life, or have gotten a chance to meet him in real life. A lot of people speak highly of him, and he's still in high regard to this day, and he still has an impact on the game. So rest in peace to him, and condolences to his family. Also, I want to shout out Austin Griffiths. Go follow his Instagram, kickcave_, for the latest kicks. He got you. He'll hook you up. Our report is back in full effect. Rob's Top 5 is back in full effect. So tune in. Make sure you follow all our social medias. Pass us around the Our Report on everything. Comments, likes, feedback, all that. We want all that. We're trying to build ourselves up, put us out there more. So go ahead and show some support and show us some love. Y'all have a good one and enjoy this wonderful NFL season and this holiday season.